Are you enjoying a scone?
Mm-hmm. That's Hominy made.
That Hominy made. I just got this book in the mail from Britt. Thanks, Britt, for sending this to me. Called Listen. 5 Simple Tools to Meet Your Everyday Parenting Challenges.
Man, but that's not the package I was hoping for today. There's supposed to be something else coming in the mail. Where the heck is my stuff? Preparing for delivery, out for delivery by end of day. Nope. Okay, this is pretty basic. I don't know what I was expecting, but there's a tradition on the Appalachian Trail where you print up postcards with you at the top, and this is as close as we got to the top, and you send them to various hostels or people that supported you on your trip. On our trip, we had so many people come and deliver meals to us and offer us places to stay. And we got the names and addresses of, I hope, every single one of those people. So we are going to mail all of them postcards. Wow, what a cool picture though. Mm-hmm. So Deb was responsible to order these. Hey, is that my cherry Coke from up there? What are these? So we are just getting ready to start shipping these postcards out, and we're telling all these stories of these people that helped us along the trail that we're sending these postcards to. And we thought this would be a really cool opportunity for us to tell you the very specific stories of everyone that helped us on the trail.
So the Lookenhoffs drove out from Kentucky to meet us in Virginia and hiked with us for 2 days. And that was really awesome because it gave us kind of a break from the trail in a way where it felt like a piece of home was coming and visiting us.
And Julia brought us breve lattes.
Yeah.
When we were in Damascus, Mike and Claudia invited us to stay at their house, which was 1 block away from the trail. They had a room for every single one of us to stay in with a clean pair of socks and candy.
In North Carolina, for Easter, we stayed and took a zero with John and Nicole, and their house was so nice, and they had a huge yard to play in. And when we first got there, they had bought all of our favorite foods that were just laid out on the dining room table.
We decided last minute that we wanted to go to town and stay in a hotel for the night because it was really cold out. And we went down to the parking lot and we didn't know what was gonna happen. And there was one van there, and Arnie 1 Mile and her husband picked us up and took us. We all were in one van in the back of it, and it was really spontaneous and crazy.
When we got to Damascus, Tanya met us with an incredible birthday gift for me, and she brought us Starbucks drinks, our favorite candy, these amazing cupcakes, cheeseburgers, and we just wolfed it down so quickly, and it was so much fun. And she took all the kids to go resupply.
Kenny and Manon drove hours to meet us at this restaurant called Home Place and bought our entire family and Hops lunch, which was like all you can drink iced tea and all you can eat fried chicken.
The Changs helped us out a lot. We got picked up, I think, at least 3 times by them. One of them was unplanned because there was a fire that cut off about 19 miles of the trail. Jordan Chang helped us get the Ultra shoes, which ended up saving our feet.
After a long 18-mile day, Melissa Coleman picked us up and brought us to her farm. And she had fresh pizza. We got to make it ourselves. They had their own pizza brick oven. They had drinks and beer, like all our favorite stuff. And then we stayed the night there, and in the morning she had an amazing breakfast.
Gavin and Kim picked us up in the Shenandoahs when it was super rainy, and they drove us to their VRBO and let us stay there for 2 nights free of charge. Gave us some amazing meals.
All right, so this family met us when we were in the Shenandoahs, and it had rained for like 3 days at that point. I ran up ahead because we were late, got to the parking lot, and I saw this family getting out of their car, and they just started laying out this food, and it was so awesome. Jeff and Lonhee, thank you very much.
Arnold did several things for us over the course of the whole time we were on the trail. One time he brought us donuts in the middle of the trail, actually twice he did that. And another time he paid for our whole family to have Chinese.
Lindsay and Adam came and picked us up with their 3 boys, and we stayed at their house, and then Lindsay took us to go pick up a package that had gotten sent somewhere else.
Kate helped us a lot, and we had so much fun with her. She let us stay at her house. She helped us to get to Washington, D.C. for a 0 day. She gave us Stumptown.
She was one of my favorite people.
In Pennsylvania, Sue and Mark picked us up from the trail and let us stay in their house for a night. They had a lot of good food and fresh fruit and cheeseburgers and a trampoline.
Stan the man slack packed us, which was really fun because like we hadn't slack packed that much. He was like one of the first people that started slack packing us. He bought us ice cream, really good ice cream.
Shauna drove all the way to the trail and delivered us Costco pizza.
Heidi and Jeffrey drove out to the trail, and we came out of the trees, and there was this canopy, and there was pizza and stromboli, which I had never tried before, and then drinks.
Bill and Denise met us in Boiling Springs and bought our entire family breakfast. And then when it was raining all day, Bill came back and brought us all Chick-fil-A with lemonade and gave Cammie and I 2 of his favorite cigars, which were actually our favorite cigars too.
Becky and Tyler drove out with their family and paid for our night at a hotel. We went out to dinner with them and ate at a hibachi grill, and we ate so much, and it was really good. And it was really cool being around another family with kids. We had a lot of fun with the kids.
Aaron and Matthew drove all the way out to the trail, picked us up. I think it was an hour, went to their house and hosted us, gave us meals.
Bernadette came and picked us up right after this super rocky section of the trail and drove us to her house. We stayed the night. She made us a lot of spaghetti and then drove our laundry to go get it washed and brought it back super late at night.
Megan and Dan told us where to meet him in this really obscure place, brought us back to their house. Then Dan cooked like 4 different meats on his grill, deep fried Twinkies, Oreos for us, and they gave Rainier a duck and a stuffed turtle.
Tyler, Chris, and Sandy drove out to the trail, picked us up, and took us to their really nice house. And there was a ton of snacks laid out, like fresh fruit and chips and like everything that I could think of. And slack packed us for the first time.
Heather drove 2 hours and met us at this lake where she gave us New York pizza, cherry Coke, and a bunch of other drinks. And it was really fun to have that be a reunion with Hops.
Susan, Billy Joe, and Jennifer drove all the way out to the trail to welcome us with empanadas just as we were starting Connecticut.
Bobby and Wendy picked us up off the trail and took us back to their house for an hour or two, fed us the most amazing food and just showed us around their house, and we had the best conversation.
Julie helped pick us up, and I took a shower in the morning. We were only there for like an hour. That's extra.
Hudson and Lou gave us a free stay at their hostel, and it was one of my favorite hostels, and almost everything there was from the trail. And they made us delicious sandwiches for breakfast.
Staying with Melissa was really fun. She took us to her house, made tea for us, slack packed us, and that night we had a really fun time with her reading all of the comments on the vlog.
The Basilians and Kendi from Great Barrington CrossFit invited us into their CrossFit gym where they made a fire, made us a ton of food, let us spend the night in their CrossFit gym, even built this like makeshift plywood shower outside so that we could shower, and then drove us around in a school bus for 2 or 3 days.
Paul drove out and met us for lunch at this park. He brought us Pop-Tarts, ice cream, lunch, and he slack packed us.
Marty and Russ were a divorced couple, and they came back together to help us and our family this one night by hosting us overnight and making us breakfast and coffee.
Jennifer drove 3 hours to meet us at a park, brought all this food for us, hamburgers, fruits, desserts. It was amazing.
Steve and Zoe met us and our hiker friends with pizza, beer, and soda, and it was a really fun night. They stayed super late, and we used the back of their truck for our party.
Sarah and Matt picked us up, took us to their house, hosted us for the night, made lasagna, gave us Ben and Jerry's, and they even had to leave on a trip the next day.
Ziploc slack packed us and paid for our meal at Caratunk. And paid for our meal at Caratunk.
Sarah and Brock met us on the trail with their whole family, brought in pancakes.
Sage contacted us over Facebook and offered to use his hotel points to pay for any Marriott, I think it was.
Pat and Paul drove an hour and a half to meet us on the trail, and they brought us sandwiches.
So the first time we met Caitlin and Jodio, they had a cooler full of drinks, and I walked right past them. I had the baby and we were late, and I didn't know they can't come for us, and then when I heard that they had driven a long way and they had hiked even like a couple miles to meet us, I felt so bad. So I was so glad that we met them again in the Whites, and they helped us out a lot, giving us a lot of advice, and Caitlin hiked with us for a couple days.
And they made my birthday awesome.
Harm paid for a night at Joe Dodge Lodge, which we were running to get to before the buffet closed, that he paid for, and it was an amazing buffet. We made it like maybe 10 or 15 minutes before they were closing it. The lodge was really fancy and it had a piano.
Man, do you remember that shrimp?
Yeah. And there was like pasta, this like really good pasta.
Sandy and Mark brought us an entire dinner that we ate under a freeway. And it turns out that Sandy was a postmaster, so she helped us figure out how to get a package that we had passed a long time ago, and she got it forwarded to us.
Justin? Serena and her husband at the Notch Hostel helped us out, giving us 2 free nights. Their hostel was amazing. It was so well organized. This was in New Hampshire.
Whitney drove us to go do laundry and resupply.
Right after Mahoosic Notch, one of the most difficult miles on the trail, we came down to this parking lot and were met by Deb, Granite State, Sharon, and Yolo, who had an amazing spread laid out for us. We met some of our friends there.
Odie, the creator of the Hiker Yearbook, introduced us to the people at the cabin, Honey and Bear, And he drove us around for 3 days in his school bus, just helping us out.
The Baileys paid for a breakfast for us in Maine at this place called the Red Hen, and it had the best Eggs Benedict I have ever had off trail. The best Eggs Benedict was probably made by my dad, but like that was on trail. But it was really good, and I still think about it.
Bob and Barbara met us at 2 different places. The first, they brought beer and cherry Coke. The second place, they brought us these amazing moon pies.
Whoopie pies.
The second place, they brought us these amazing whoopie pies.
Karen tried numerous times to invite us over to her house, and it never worked out. So instead, she came out to the trail in Maine and met us with drinks and snacks.
Brad and Beth came out, and first of all, Brad, he came out like a day earlier and hiked with us for a little bit. And then the next day, they both came and brought us lunch. And then that night, they drove us to their house, and we stayed at their house, and they gave us tons of really good food, encouragement. They somehow they found out that I really liked goldfish, and they got this huge carton of goldfish that lasted us like 2 days.
Fun facts parents, Beth and Rick, at the very last night paid for all of our family to have an amazing lobster dinner.
I think we're gonna have fun.
I'm not worried about logistics. You know how to hack, I know how to feed.
He got us, he bought Wonder Woman.
All right, we'll all say it together, okay? And our family all wants to get together to give one big shout out to Fresh Ground.
He bought Wonder Woman and brought it to a hostel so that we could all watch it together.
Because one of us was like, oh, Wonder Woman was a good movie, so that's what he did.
He gave socks, or bought new socks.
Oh yeah, for like everybody in the
He
family.
brought me pickles.
He made all of our packs fit in his car so that he could slack pack us.
He dyed Memory's hair.
This is like full service.
He swam in the river with Rainier and he found this like amazing spot in the water. He's like, you gotta try this. Everyone's gotta try this.
I think Fresh Ground probably fed us
Yeah, you can come down.
20 times maybe on the trail.
There was this one time when Stephen was like, I want all these like cakes and whatever, and he brought out this bin that he had in his car with tons of them in it, and...
Hey, we're talking about Fresh Ground. Can you say, what did Fresh Ground do?
I don't know.
Did he bring you any food?
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of food?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Hey, were you his little buddy?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Hey, my friend.
He's your friend.
He somehow heard that we like half and half in our coffee, and so instead of the dry cream, he brought half and half.
Yeah.
Every morning for that last week.
I special ordered that for you.
That was amazing. That was awesome.
My gosh.
I would also like to thank all of the people who supported us on Patreon, PayPal, or Venmo. A lot of people sent us financial gifts just because they enjoyed our videos or wanted to help our journey. And it was really cool, not just financially, but it really helped us feel like people had our back. So thank you guys for everyone that did that. All right, we have 2 more people that we didn't mention. One was Carl, the omelet guy in New Hampshire. This guy, he's the type of person that just like makes an experience like the Appalachian Trail. We've never met anyone like him. Basically, our family rolls up into this tent, and he had been contacting us for months. And then we show up in the woods, and he makes us the most amazing omelet I've probably ever had in my life. And it doesn't matter if you order a 3-egg omelet or a 6-egg omelet or a 4-egg omelet. Even though he's kind enough to ask, he doesn't listen. He just makes you a 12-egg omelet no matter what. And then he gave Cammie and I think it was like 20 cigars that he said, well, I didn't want to drive an hour to the cigar shop, so I bought the nicest ones that I could find. So we wanted to include something special with Carl's postcard, and that is Carl, Cammie and I bought you a box of our favorite cigars, and these are some pretty nice ones, and there's 40 of them in there. So we hope that you enjoy these, and we hope when you smoke them that you think about us, and we are so thankful that we met you and that you helped our family out so much. Carl also said that if we try to donate money, or if anyone tried to donate money to him, he would break either their trekking poles or their legs, but that was an incredible experience. The second person I wanted to mention was Hops. So this is a guy that we hiked with, and he first introduced us to the Changs and helped us size our Ultra shoes. We just enjoyed hiking with him. He bought our Chinese food once and told me not to tell anybody, so I'm not. And he gave me bourbon a lot on the trail that he carried, so I thought, Hops, I'm going to mail you a bottle that comes highly recommended from my friend here in Cincinnati area who is a bourbon aficionado. And I figured what better way to send you this bourbon than to pack it using honey buns. Man, I really hope we didn't forget anyone, and if we did, I hope you let us know in the comments so that we can send you one of these postcards. I thought this vlog might be a little bit long, and it might get a little tedious to say thank you to everyone, but we were told that the Appalachian Trail was all about the people, and I think that this list of stories, it was these stories that really made the bulk of the Appalachian Trail experience for us. And I think it's what's gonna make it something that we'll never forget, and something that was like truly life-changing and memorable.
It was cool for me to hear everyone and for myself to be thanking these people all over again, because it reminded me how often we were helped.
None of these people were people that we asked for help. They all reached out to us, and they all came to us.
And some of them like drove hours, and some of them bought really nice food and had us in their home, and just, they went above and beyond.
So when I think of like our kids doing the Appalachian Trail, this is what I think of the gift that we gave them, was just the opportunity to experience some of these things. It actually got to a point where I was thinking, if someone comes to America and they have 1 year in America, I would say spend 6 months and hike the Appalachian Trail, because this is the best way for us in my life that I've ever met people, got to know them, seen their homes, been taken care of by people. You know who we didn't even have on here? Was that Mennonite couple.
Oh my gosh, I thought about them.
Dang it, see, I like know we forgot people. There's like so many people.
Roberta and her husband and her daughter, they were so hospitable. They made us like really nice beds. They had treats for us on our pillow.
Just back at 1, 2, 3. Thank you!